Hi, I'm Alistair, that's Jonathan. This is a Toyota GR Corolla Morizo, that is a Honda Civic Type R, and this is the Edmunds U-Drag you've all been demanding. Let's get on with it.
Well, you asked for it, you got it. We have the front-wheel drive 2023 Civic Type R with 315 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, blasting out of the turbo inline 4 made into a succulent 6-speed manual. Going up against the all-wheel drive 2023 GR Corolla Morizo with 300 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, coming out of a tweaked-out turbo inline 3, also made into a 6-speed manual. These two are going head-to-head on our Edmunds U-Drag track, which starts with the quarter-mile drag, then they hit the brakes, snap a 180, and power back to start-finish. At the end of the first run, to make everybody happy, we'll swap drivers and lanes and do it again. Are you grilling like and subscribe burgers? They smell so good! You want to know what else smells good? Edmunds.com/U-Drags for all the snackable information your heart desires. Alright, let's hit it.
So how do we set up the GR Corolla for the fastest launch? Well, of course, the big difference between this Toyota and that Honda is that this has all-wheel drive, and that means we can be more aggressive with the launch. So we're going to put the drive mode into sport, then we're going to push this track button here, and then twiddle this knob. Our experience at our own test track and other running has told us that probably the best way of launching this car is to have 30% of the torque at the front, 70% at the rear. That's what I'm going with. Manual transmission, of course, so we're going to dial up first gear. We're going to get pretty unsympathetic with the mechanical, so I'm going to dial up about 6,000 RPM and then pretty much slip off the clutch, sidestep it, off we go. I should, in theory, get a jump on the front wheel drive Honda. We shall see.
All right, Civic Type R. This thing is so cool. No launch control. But we don't really need it because we have Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, which have a ton of grip, and unfortunately the engine is limited to 3,500 RPM, which just isn't enough power to really spin and overcome the grip of those tires. So I'm gonna try my best to get those tires moving. In order to do that, I need to select R mode. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off traction and stability control, which is just a single beep. There's no two-stage here. And then I'm gonna rev it up to 3,500. I know I have the power advantage, so I'm hoping that with that car's all-wheel drive, it's not gonna leave me in the dust. And I think if I get off the line cleanly, then it's gonna be the Type R's race to win.
Visualize the lap.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, Civic, come on, yeah! Gonna get it back.
Come on, there's the Honda.
Got him in the quarter.
Watch for the braking. I'm gonna try and brake a little bit later.
Here we go.
Feed the power, get it lock and wound.
Here we go.
I'm gonna use all the track.
I got it. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Civic.
So, Jonathan, it's a fairly clear victory in the end.
The Civic definitely has a power advantage, and it's just so well put together. This was the previous generation Type R was the best handling front driver that I had driven in a long time, maybe ever. How about the Corolla?
Yeah, I expected to win in the places that I didn't, which means I expected to get a better launch off the line because of all the all-wheel drive and the fact that I was pretty aggressive with dropping it from, 6,500 RPM. But then it still bogged a little bit, and then you just came through. We got to like third gear, you were just pulling away. I mean, this is a really fun little thing. It's got a great little gearbox, it steers beautifully, it stops beautifully. I'm just a bit surprised that the all-wheel drive just doesn't give it more of an advantage, and maybe in the wet or on a less grippy surface it would, but not here.
That's enough talking. Let's switch lanes. I want to try that Corolla.
So it's weird, jumping out of the Toyota into this Honda, it instantly feels a lot more grown up, a bit less toy-like, a bit less raw, if you like, which is kind of a weird thing to say about a Type R, but there you are. And it seems that the big challenge we're having with this is the car won't let us use enough revs off the line to actually generate some wheel spin and keep the momentum going. So it'll let me use 3.5 RPM, which on a grippy surface like this isn't really enough. So it's going to bog down, and I've got to hope that similar thing I can get into third gear, and then the extra power will see me win the day.
All right, GR Corolla time. You know, all-wheel drive, these launches are not mechanically sympathetic, so I think if you own your car, you don't want to be doing this too much. Obviously, this is a special occasion, so we're gonna give the Corolla its due and to show what it can do. So I'm gonna rev it up to around 6,000 and just kind of let it rip. Hopefully we get some wheel spin, get off the line, get a head start on that Civic, and take the win.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Bogged a bit. 3, that's the rev limiter. Starting to pull a little bit.
Come on, Corolla, you got it! Right there, right there, right there.
Let's nail the braking. Get it straightened up.
So close!
He's pulling away.
Right there, come on, you got it! No!
Oh! Victory to the Honda. So I think that's pretty conclusive. I'm not sure that was my best run in the Honda. I think one of my practice runs was better, but still enough to see off the Corolla.
I mean, this thing was good, got a good launch. This car is a lot more physical than you expect to drive. It's got a pretty heavy clutch, you know, especially compared to that Civic. It's just a little more rough around the edges than that car.
If anything, it feels like it needs more power to actually make the benefits of all-wheel drive and some of the attributes it's got. It feels like it's a little bit underpowered for having all the, you know, the hardware that it has.
It's making some impressive power for as big of an engine as it has. But I agree with you, if it had a 2-liter, this thing would probably feel even better.
And it's time for the best numbers. In the quarter mile, the Civic barely takes the W at 14.3 at 104.8, only 0.1 second faster than the Morizo. In the turn, the Civic also edged out the Corolla, pulling 1.28 Gs. The finish was close, but in the end, the Civic takes it with a 38.5 at 113 miles an hour. Did somebody say leaderboard? Remember, each car's quickest run goes on the leaderboard regardless of pairing. In the end, the Civic Type R hits number 12 with a time of 38.5 at 113 miles an hour, with the Morizo right below at 13th with a time of 39 flat at 108.6. Give me some of that POV data magic.
Bogged a bit. 2, 3, that's the rev limiter. Starting to pull a little bit. 4, come on. Let's nail the braking. Down to 2. Get it straightened up. at it! Oh!
Almost at it.
So I'm a bit surprised by this.
Yeah?
Yeah, because although on paper the Honda's got more power, I did think the all-wheel drive might make a difference both on the launch and also getting out of what is a pretty tight bend at the bottom. And actually didn't.
I'm not surprised by the result because I think, you know, I've driven the Civic and the Corolla back to back, and I know the power advantage that had. The grip was a concern, but as we found out here, not a concern out here. And so I think it took away the only advantage that the Corolla had was grip and just like being able to use all of its power. But here the Civic clearly could use all of its power very easily. Between the two, which one would you take home?
Well, given that we've got like a few hours to get home, the Honda's going to be the better all right. I mean, like if you gave me like a little scrappy road, I think I'd love the Corolla.
Yeah.
But that's just a great all-round car that, you know, you can throw the kids in. That's it for this version of U-Drags. For all the latest races and our fabled leaderboard, head to edmunds.com/U-Drags, that's plural. And while you're there, check out everything else that Edmunds has to offer. And please, while we're, you know, developing the wish list, subscribe to our channel too, so it, you know, keeps us doing fun stuff. Thanks for watching. See you next time.